it comes in so a block. And so generally I can cut it in half, and this is called wedging. If I take it like this and keep beating, but cut it in half. Wedging. This is to go ahead and push the air bubbles out of it.
Oh.
Of course, I'm using larger pieces, okay?
Yeah.
Then, after it's all wedged, get it into what shape I'm looking for, okay? Look for something like that. So I want it kind of wide. So push it wide. And then I have an old apron here, and I have 2 sticks of wood, and this is my rolling pin. Most potters would have rolling pins to roll the clay out with.
Okay.
But I use larger pieces, so this is a metal pipe with a silk stocking or rayon stocking over it so that it doesn't stick. And so I can roll the clay out there. This into the mold. So I lift it and push down.
Beginning to get the idea the bear isn't solid.
That's not solid.
It's hollow. Huh. Never thought of that.
Separated the legs a bit. Push the clip. So I modified the original one by making the head go in different locations. So it's essentially the same body.
Did you start making bears when you came here because bears are here, or did you always make bears?
No, I didn't always know. I didn't do much sculpture before I came here. So, but I guess I branched out when I was up here, sitting around doing nothing. Sometimes. So, cutting the excess away. And I'm using a bamboo that has been sharpened, because if I use a knife, the knife will cut easily enough
into
the
the plaster.
And the plaster will then get trapped into my clay. And even after I have an object made, then it will take on moisture from the air, even after it's fired. It'll take on moisture from the air and expand and blow out. So plaster is okay as long as you keep it as away from being mixed with your product. So now what I want to do here is press it in. So press it in hard now. This guy has a tail here. I want to be sure to get his tail pressed there. And he has an ear up here. So, be sure to get that. So, put some here. This clay is moist enough that I don't need to add any slurry to it. Slurry is nothing more than clay that has dried out and mixed into water, and it becomes this kind of a mess. Okay. So it's real liquid, so that you can call it. It's thick. If it's thin enough to pour, then it's called slip. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, a lot of the commercial potteries, they'll do slip pouring. So they'll have this mold, but they'll have an opening up here at the top where they put the two together and they pour the liquid clay in there. And then when it gets so thick, they pour it out and it settles along the side like this. But then they have to let the mold dry. But I can use my mold 3 times in one day. They have to let it dry for another day. So. Okay, now we'll put the slurry. It doesn't have to be on very. I just want to get it on the edges here.
And what does that do?
This is going to condition the clay. It's a conditioner. It's not a. In other words, it's the same kind of clay, only it's softer. It has more water. So it's going to let all this dry together. And so that I'll do both of them. So I knew you were coming, so I did one beforehand. Now in making the mold, I had to make a couple of keys. So this was carved into the plaster and made a hole here. Those are called keys. And this will allow me to go ahead and, here's a key here and then there. So get the keys together, okay. And then I'll press. Okay. And leave it sit around for the next day. Next day, then open the mold. More than 2 hours, I'll open the mold. So then it has stiffened up.
You know, so that.
See, and then I have to get rid of the seam mark. And if there are any places that didn't, so here it didn't seal over. So use my slurry. Then I can pull this clay over. And I can get rid of
all that excess.
Get rid of the seam mark. Then of course I would then smooth it out with the sponge and water. So then after so here's one I made the day before and I let it dry overnight, so it's all cleaned up and so forth. And I have to make eyes. Now it's solid. It's not so it's hollow on the inside, but it's all closed over. Okay. If it to be fired, then it's going to break. It's going to explode. And so then I go ahead and this is called a biology probe. It's an iron, a stick on the end, so I put it here. I'll make his eyes there.
And that makes it so it doesn't explode in the shop.
Yeah, this will allow moisture to get out. So I would have had all of this cleaned up and so forth. And so on down. It's called fettling. And this is what I learned at Boys Town. Fettling and finishing. Molded. We made elephants and bases and what have you and everything else. So then we had to ship them out. So anyway, so this would be
There he is,
ready to be put into the kiln.
You put it into the kiln once, fire it once, and then take it out and paint it,
And glaze it.
Glaze it.
Yeah, and then
and back into
fire
the
it
kiln.
again. So,
Neat.
so I get it level. I'll show you by rubbing it on the table with water, and that'll flatten it out. So.
Huh.